guys, welcome back to my channel where I talk about Bitcoin and I talk about Bitcoin mining. Yesterday I got a really interesting question about how quickly could my machine, my Bitcoin mining hardware, ROI. That means how quickly can my hardware get my return on my investment? In other words, if I put money into a Bitcoin miner, when can I get that money out? Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you are interested in Bitcoin mining and learning about this exciting space. As a full-time Bitcoin miner, I will share what I'm learning with you, and you can also join us at Skool, that's SKOOL/POW, which stands for Proof of Workshop. So yesterday, someone asked, what would it take in order for me to get a full return on my investment in 1 year? And I need to preface this with the caveat that I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what hash price is going to do, because basically it comes down to hash price. You have somewhat fixed costs, your hardware efficiency is fixed, and your costs of operational expenses are probably fixed. Your CapEx is fixed once you make that investment. But I'm going to run you through some math and answer the question in a hash price perspective of what would it take for my investment into a piece of Bitcoin mining hardware. We're going to use the S21 Pro as an example. It doesn't matter if you're doing the math on one machine or 10 machines or 1,000 machines at scale. You just add zeros and it's basically the same math. So let's look at what would hash price need to do if your operational expenses or your OPEX is fixed, your CapEx is fixed, and let's jump into the math. All right, guys, so again, using this example, we're going to be using an S21 Pro at 234 terahash. The cost on that S21 Pro, let's call it around $5,000 plus some sales tax. So let's call it $5,300 for your hardware CapEx. That's the measurement that we're going to be using to calculate how quickly you would ROI given a certain hash price performance. We're going to use bullish assumptions, because if you're a Bitcoin miner, you have to be bullish Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining economics. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense to get into it. So we're going to use some bullish assumptions and calculate how quickly could one achieve a full ROI on one's next generation hardware. So the hosting is calculated at about 8 cents or 7.9 cents all in. So this machine operates at 234 terahash, and the hosting cost all in is $212 per month that we're going to be using. So therefore, it's pretty simple math. Let's run into it. So in order for you to achieve a $5,300 ROI, you are simply going to take your $5,300 and divide it by 12. 5,300 divided by 12 is $441 and change. Let's call it $442 times 12 months will give you that full 100% ROI on the hardware if, and this is the big conditional statement, if you can actually net $442 worth of Bitcoin in mining rewards. And this is also assuming that you're selling those mining rewards as they're coming in every single day, as a matter of fact. So you would have to net $442 on top of your OPEX, which is $212 per month. So therefore, that equals $655 per month on average for 12 months in order for you to get a full ROI on this machine. And let's calculate what hash price environment that would be achievable. Certainly a much higher hash price than the current hash price, which is $44 per petahash or 4.4 cents per terahash. So you take the hash power of this one machine, you multiply it by 4.4 cents, and that's going to give me 234 times 0.044. That means this thing is bringing in $10 and change per day on average at current hash price, which is always subject to change and it's very volatile. So hash price would need to be much higher than current hash price, and let's calculate exactly how much higher on average in order to achieve a full 12-month ROI on that investment. So we know that you would have to bring in gross about $655 worth of Bitcoin. There's an average of 30.4 days in the average month, and that'll give you how much daily Bitcoin mining rewards you would need to be earning, $21 and change. If you need to make $21 and your machine is running at 234 terahash, then that will give you the hash price that you would require in order to achieve that investment performance. So hash price would need to be 9.2 cents or $92 per petahash, 9.2 cents per terahash or $92 per petahash in order to achieve a full ROI on a CapEx investment of $5,300 for the next generation S21 Pro. And so how does that compare to current hash price? Hash price is currently, like we said, 4.4 cents. So therefore, hash price would have to more than double on average, which means it would have to spike over twice as much as current hash price in order to achieve that investment performance. Now, mind you, getting an ROI in 1 year would be fantastic. Is that 1 year may be an unrealistic investment target, but it depends how bullish you are. I think that it is possible, but I think that you shouldn't underwrite deals according to hyper bullish scenario, and I think that the more conservatively you can write these deals, the better, so that you're not disappointed in your investment. Also, it's worth considering that the way I wrote this up is with 100% uptime, and that's not realistic. Therefore, you may want to consider that your machine may be online maybe 95% of the time. So I'm going to divide that number by 0.95, and that raises this number from 92 to about 97 in terms of hash price. So that's 9.7 cents per terahash or $97 per petahash. I'm just multiplying by 1,000 to go from terahash to petahash. And I'm not saying this is realistic. Do I think it's possible? Yes, but only under hyper bullish circumstances. And I am hyper bullish. I will go ahead and come out of the closet as a hyper bull. That is why I am in Bitcoin mining, is that if I time things correctly and I pick up efficient hardware at value prices and Bitcoin goes parabolic as it has done historically, and of course past performance doesn't guarantee future results, but if you time things correctly, not only are we calculating just how much the mining rewards are worth if you are selling it on a daily basis, you're selling all your mining rewards and calculating this in fiat paper US dollars that the central bank will never stop printing and therefore will be devalued forever, instead of Bitcoin, which is limited to the 21 million coins forever. That said, I want to mention a couple things here. This is pure speculation. Furthermore, we are calculating the 100% ROI in fiat terms, and what can actually turbocharge your investment performance even more than the math that we just did is if you were to hodl your rewards, then that would certainly turbocharge your investment under these bullish conditions. Why? Well, because hash price goes up if the price of Bitcoin goes up, or if difficulty goes down and you're mining a lot more Bitcoin, or if fees spike and you're mining a lot more Bitcoin. But we're basically betting on a bull run in Bitcoin where Bitcoin price outpaces Bitcoin mining difficulty, which benefits Bitcoin miners and results in them mining Bitcoin, which is more valuable than their costs. Let's go ahead and do one more exercise here. Let's calculate a cheaper, less efficient machine. And let's calculate the same math on a less expensive piece of hardware, such as the S19 XP. Let's say you pick up an S19 XP for $1,500 all in. So obviously a lot less expensive than the $5,000 piece of equipment. That S19 XP has a hosting liability of, let's say, $180 per calendar month, right? So then, same math, we're going to say, how long would it take to ROI the CapEx of $1,500 divided by 12? That gives me only $125 that I need to net per month in order to get a full return on my investment over 12 months. So I'm going to add the 180 plus the 125. That means I need to average $305 worth of mining rewards per calendar month. We're going to divide that by days in the month, which gives me $10 per day that I need to average for the next 365 days, assuming I'm not hodling any of these rewards, which would probably benefit my investment performance if I did hodl onto those rewards under bullish circumstances, as we are calculating. So that means I'd have to be making $10. It's a 141 terahash machine. Therefore, if we're calculating at $10 divided by the hash power of that machine, then it gives me the hash price, and hash price would have to be 0.711 cents or $71 per petahash. And we have to factor for downtime. So let's divide by 95%. And that gives me a hash price of 7.4 cents per terahash or $74 per petahash. If we go back to the next generation piece of equipment where we paid more for the latest and greatest next gen efficiency, we paid a lot more for that machine. Let's call it $5,300 divided by, what did we say we paid for the S19 XP? $1,500. We paid 353%. So we paid 2.5 times more than the XP. And therefore, the XP could, under bullish circumstances, ROI that much quicker. So I find that math very interesting to calculate. Okay, where would hash price need to go in order for me to get a expedited return on my investment, whether I'm investing in next generation equipment or just getting a bargain on high efficiency equipment secondhand. So subscribe to this channel if you found this interesting. Drop a comment if you think that it's better to go with the next generation, latest and greatest, or the bargain, something like an S19 XP. I'm super interested to hear your thoughts. I hope you'll come along for the ride and learn about Bitcoin mining with me on this channel. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you didn't like this content. But either way, I appreciate your time.